All right, sir, is your name David Allen Law?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, looks like we got everybody connected, so 1 second here. Okay, we're on the record in People versus David Allen Law. This is Crawford County District Court Case 24-17615-SM-1. The record should reflect that Mr. Law is present today by video from the Crawford County Jail. I can't see, the picture isn't real great there. Who do we have in the courtroom there in Crawford County?
Yes, Your Honor, you have Dana Chady on behalf of the people.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Thompson, you're here on behalf of Mr. Law for purposes of arraignment today?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Law, you're before the court today for arraignment on 3 different misdemeanors. I'm going to go through with you what your rights are today. First of all, you do have the right to have a lawyer. If you can't afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you at public expense. Did you want to request a court-appointed attorney today, or how did you want to proceed with regard to representation?
Your Honor, I did have a chance to speak to Mr. Law. He is requesting court-appointed counsel. I've preliminarily approved him. Mr. Garamuthi will be appointed to this file.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Law, have you been advised of what the charges are against you?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, have you gone through those charges with Mr. Law and advised him of the maximum possible penalties?
I have, Your Honor, and we would waive a formal reading, ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Law's behalf, and we're prepared to address bond.
Okay, so the court will enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Law. Do the people have any recommendations with regard to bond in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, the people would be asking for a cash bond in this case. Mr. Law just has a 2015 impaired, so in terms of criminal history, that is limited. However, based on the charges, this is an assaultive crime. All of them, happened one night to a member in the community, a person he has children in common with, just in consideration of the safety for the children that were present and the victim and the seriousness of the crime. We'd be asking for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson?
Thank you, Your Honor. We'd ask the court to consider a PR bond. Mr. Law has lived in the community his whole life. He only has one misdemeanor that was almost 10 years ago. He owns a home in the community. He runs his own subcontracting business. He has strong ties to the community, a lot of family in the community. I don't think there's any risk of him not appearing in court. In terms of public safety, I would respectfully ask the court whether the provisions of the bond may be able to enable public safety. So we believe a PR bond, if not a PR bond, a low cash bond would be appropriate in this matter. Thank you.
All right. Based on the nature of the charges in this case, which do involve an assaultive offense, and there are multiple charges. However, given the nature of the contacts of Mr. Law with the community, I agree that court doesn't have concerns regarding appearance at future hearings. However, the court does have some concerns regarding safety in this case, given the nature of the offenses. For that reason, the court finds that bond should be set in the amount of $1,000, 10% cash or surety. The court finds that would be adequate. The court's also going to include as the conditions of the bond that the defendant not have any contact, either directly or indirectly through third parties, with the victim in this case. That the defendant not engage in any harassing, intimidating, or threatening behavior towards the victim during the pendency of the case, and that the defendant not be in any areas where the victim is located as conditions of bond. The court will set this for a pretrial hearing on October 11th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. So Mr. Law, that'll be your next appearance before the court. The court will set it also for a status conference on October 22nd, 2024 at 10 a.m. And Mr. Law, the court will provide you with written notice of these dates. Mr. Thompson, have you been able to get him contact information for your office yet?
Not for my office. Again, Mr. Garamuthi is going to be appointed. If we were all in the room, I'd grab a card off the, I will, I guess I'll print it right now and I'll have it sent over to the jail. Mr. Garamuthi's contact information.
Okay, so Mr. Law will provide you with contact information for your court-appointed attorney. It's important that you make contact with him as soon as possible. Do you have any questions, Mr. Law?
I do not at the present time.
Okay, anything further that we need to address from the people?
Yes, Your Honor, could we get, just on behalf of the court, could we get an updated address for Mr. Law for mailings?
Mr. Law, do you know your father, Mr. Law, do you know your father's mailing address? Can we use that for this file?
Yeah, yes. It is 5751 Wellington Way, Grayling.
Thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor. Those are all the questions.
All right, Mr. Law, make sure that that's the address that the court will send information to. So you need to make sure that you get your mail from that address, and it won't be an excuse later on if you fail to appear or have other issues that you didn't get that, okay?
Okay. I do still reside with Amanda.
Well, right, but you might not be there to receive mail. So it can be your legal residence, but if you're temporarily not going to be there, we want to make sure you get your mail. And then
All
number two, we didn't really discuss it, but the court did the 10% on the bond. So that means you have to post $100. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Right. Okay, and then go ahead and get in touch with Mr. Garamuthi. He can answer your specific questions about the specific charges. Okay.
And I can call him tomorrow morning, right?
All right, great.
All right, thank you. Anything further from either side on this hearing today?
Nothing from the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all for this hearing today. All parties are free to disconnect at this time.